All right, here we go again. Wow. Not going to get any treats unless you come up and visit. Good morning, Roberta. Ow. There we go. There's our co-host. Right? You here to visit? You just here for the kitty treats. Good morning, Janine. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Ray. Your motor's running. Well, okay. Yeah, I kind of hate it when you do that. Because you're such a big fat cat that you get drool all over your jowls and you spray drool all over the place when you shake your head like that. Now my leg's all wet. Yeah, that's your fault. Good morning, Connie. Just enjoying a little bite time here. Okay, I guess he's gonna go over to this side here. Because that's where the kitty treats are after all. Figures that I'm not gonna pay any attention over there and complain. You got that leg wet, now you're gonna get this one wet, right? Geez, you're literally drooling on the couch. What is it with you? Is that what it is? You want the kitty treats, don't you? You're thinking about kitty treats so much you're drooling. I don't know if that's going to make it worse or make it better. It's probably going to make it worse. I'm going to have to get a mop, aren't I? Okay, that's it. You little drool machine. Okay. Oh, I see Nibble peering around the corner there. That may be the only sight we get of Nibble today. Right, Nibble? You gonna come and visit? Huh? No? Just rub up against the corner of the wall there, huh? Okay, well, if you want to come out and perform, otherwise, these people are getting bored. How's my mom? Oh, I'm sure I got the typical weather report here. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, I went to Silent Screamer. She knew that. Um, she hoped my eye is better. It is. It's 100% now. Yeah, it's cold there. They're getting ready for Halloween. Pumpkin carving, all that fun stuff. So my mom's good. Good morning, Yvonne. How are you? I'll pull the laptop a little closer here so I can see. I've gotten used to just being able to lean back here when I do this rather than have to kind of sit up straight. I got like cat drool all over my shirt here, gosh. I look like a pig. Oh, if there's anything I'm used to, Yvonne, it's autocorrect errors. I just read past them. No, it's actually kind of cool. We had a little rain that blew through here a couple days ago, and it's been like in the 50s at night and upper 60s, lower 70s during the day. So we're definitely in fall now. We're past this 90s and hundreds nonsense, and I'm glad. I was over that. I've said this before, but that's one of the things I love about Texas weather. About the time you get tired of it, it changes. So I'm ready for a little fall weather. Go out during the day and maybe go out at night wearing a jacket. That works. Do you have any more decorations up? No, that's all going to go up tomorrow. I thought maybe I'd do some today, but they're having a low scare night on Silo of Screams tonight, and I've decided to go to that. And that's just going to be 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. There's not going to be anybody in the haunted houses. You can just go through the mazes without the scare actors in them. But a number of the scare actors, including myself, are going to be just outside wandering around, posing for pictures and stuff like that. So that sounds like that's going to be fun. Get a chance to meet some of the viewers, some of the people that come and see. It'd be a perfect meetup opportunity if anybody wanted to come tonight. 6 to 8, Silo of Screams. The advantage with these kinds of things is that if you come up to me when I'm here tonight, I'll break character for you. I won't break character in the maze. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what winter does this year because we've had snow every year that I've been here, and each year it's gotten worse. The first year I was here when I was in the apartment, it kind of just sprinkle snowed a little bit for an hour or two one night, and it was all melted by mid morning the next day. And then next year, well, I was in the house and we had a nice little snow, but it was gone within 24 hours. And last year, it snowed for about 24 hours. We got about 4 to 6 inches of snow, and it took it a week to go away. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens this year. The snow is nice. I just wouldn't want to live in a place that freezes solid, 6 months out of the year. I like the snow, but I want it to be gone in a few days too. Yeah, that's right. Laura Lee's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Laura Lee. How's Flash going to deal with the cold weather? What I'll do is I'll put her in that box and move her into the storm shelter. I'm just going to have to monitor the situation. When she goes into hibernation, I'll have her hibernate in the box, so I don't have to go look for her. And when the time comes, I'll just move her into the storm shelter. She'll be fine. That was sort of the plan all along. Yeah, Alaska. Yeah, you get a lot of snow. Very long days at some point, very short days on others. Guess we don't have Rhonda in here today. You guys are going to have to pick up the slack. Where's Bite? Bite's just over here. Just chilling out there on the floor. He was here a little bit at the beginning of the live stream, but he kept drooling on me, so I fed him some kitty treats. Now he's just going to go and sleep it off, I guess. He's with us. He'll probably make an appearance at some point. Janine's doing yard work. Yeah, I got maybe a little bit of time to do when I finish the live stream and before I go to Side of the Screams tonight. I got a video I want to try and cut together into something. I actually shot video of me in the Side of the Screams maze last week, and I want to see if I got anything good out of that. And I'm going to try and turn that into a video. It'll probably end up being kind of a clip kind of video where I'll do a little, I'll talk about it. Okay, here's what was going on here, and then I'll show you the clip, and then I'll go and do that, because I tried a bunch of different things to see what works, and I think I got some good scares, and I'm hoping I caught them on camera. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I want to try and cut that together. I wouldn't mind being in Alaska maybe for a year. I think it'd be fun to just kind of experience an Alaskan winter, but I wouldn't want to live there forever. And I guess about as close as I've gone is I've been, in terms of going as far north as I have. I've been in northern Minnesota, and in northern Minnesota in the summer, it gets dark at 10:30 at night, and morning start. The sun starts coming up about 2 in the morning, so that gets some pretty serious extremes too. It isn't the point where it's either dark for 6 months or light for 6 months, but it gets pretty extreme. How's my eye? My eye is 100%. I haven't honestly even thought about it for a couple of days. I got another malady I'm dealing with, but you'll hear about that. That's in an upcoming video. Yeah, see, Meme loves it in Alaska. I would love to do it just for the experience. Spend 1 year there. I wouldn't want to, spend the rest of my life there. I'm happy where I am, but it'd be a fun place to be. Yeah, I don't doubt that the cost of things goes way up in the winter because it gets so much harder to get in there. Yeah, winter's fine. Yeah, see, it's just one of those things you get used to. What did I do about my eye? I didn't really do anything. Um, I bought some over-the-counter eye drops that are for red eye. Only used them a couple times and basically just kind of kept it cleaned out. I found the Visine helped a lot more. The big problem, I think, is whatever it was oozing into my eye. And so what I needed to do is to have the eye drops to kind of loosen everything up so the tears would wash all that gunk away. And I did that for a while with just Visine, and I'm okay. Yeah, it's possible. I have, Texas is an unusual state energy wise. All the rest of the states, I think, have a regulated electric industry where you have one company that you buy your electricity from. Texas is deregulated, so there's lots of them. So there's all sorts of plans for electricity that you can use, and you can pick the one you want. You can have, where you pay, by the kilowatt hour, which is like a lot of places do. And they got competitive things. If you don't use a lot of electricity, you can go with this plan. And if you use a little bit more electricity, maybe you go with this plan. Or they got these basically one flat rate covers electricity. And I guess as long as you're not trying to power a whole city with it, everything goes. And that's what I'm doing, because I know in the summer I'm going to have this air conditioning running all the time. You got it. 90, 100 degrees out. You got to be able to have the AC on in order to keep this place comfortable. So, it was a good deal. It's still less than I was paying for electricity in California. I never used the air conditioning at home because every day I turned the air conditioning on, that was a $40 bump in the electric bill. And it just wasn't worth it. And that house in California was actually really well designed because you could open up the back door, you can open up the side window, you can open up the windows on the top floor, and you get the ocean breeze blowing right through the house. And you could keep that place very, very comfortable just with a couple of ceiling fans. So I don't have a generator, no. Yeah, boo to you too, Gene. I think I could deal with a constant dark. It'd be a little weird at first, but okay, $1,000 for rent, and that includes utilities. That's good. I mean, I think I was paying more than $1,000 a month in that dive of an apartment I moved into. Yeah, Southern California Edison was the same, Yvonne. That's the problem. I really like, that's one of the things I really like about Texas is it does have a deregulated market. Competition brings prices down. It gives you more options, and you can find the thing that's right for you. When you have one company, that's it. You're stuck with them. If they don't take care of you, then you're out of luck. Oh yeah, I know. It's only dark for the deepest part of the winter, and it's only light all the time for the deepest part of the summer. But you are going to deal with a point where there's going to be at least a month or two, right? Depending on how far north you are, where you're not going to see the sun for weeks or even months. Yeah, exactly. You just had a little earthquake. Let me see if I can find out something about that here. I happen to have the tool for that. Let's see, can I do it on here though? That's the $128,000 question. California earthquakes. All right. I'm gonna move up to Alaska here, see if I can figure out what's going on. Are you near Anchorage? 5.1, huh? Okay, I don't think that's it then. I'm looking at, maybe it isn't on my map yet either. I see two little earthquakes, but they don't look like they're 5.1. No, that's a 2.1. That's a 2.2. Might not be on my map yet either. This thing sometimes takes about 5 minutes to update. 3.6. Oh, now there's a new one up there. That one looks bigger too. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, it just appeared. So you're a little, well, the earthquake it looks like it's northeast of Anchorage by about 50 miles. Yeah, because that's what I'm seeing. Blow this up here. I'll show everybody what we're talking about. So yeah, let's see if we can get this visible here. So this is, I'm looking backwards here now. So this is Anchorage right here, right there where it says Anchorage. Let's see if we can get it to focus on that. Maybe it's not, but that red dot there, that's the earthquake there. So yeah, not too far away, about 50 miles. Gotta love the internet, don't you? Yeah, but 3.6, that's a baby. That's a baby even for California. I've been through a bunch of 3.6s. There was an earthquake fault just a few miles north of my house in California, and that produced earthquakes on the three scale periodically. Yeah, yeah, I heard about Paul Pelosi. That sucks. That's that's not good. I'm sorry. I'm not on Paul Pelosi or Nancy Pelosi's side, but political violence of any kind, that can't be done. That can't be acceptable. That's just a very bad direction to be going. You may recall about 3 years ago, I did a vlog when I was about an earthquake, a big earthquake that happened in California. It was probably must have been about more than 3 years ago now, and I still watch that. That earthquake is still that fault area is still generating aftershocks. There's 60 or 70 aftershocks a week there still. Yeah, I never got to the point where I stopped feeling the little ones. The little ones still. I know too much about what's going on to just ignore them. That's one of the things I do not miss about California is there aren't earthquakes here. I don't like earthquakes. Earthquakes freak me out. I like to hear about them. I like to read about them. I like to study them, but I want to do it from a distance. I don't want to be in one. Or if I am going to be in one, I want to be in a place where I know I'll be safe. If I'm on the ground, out in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing's going to fall on me. Okay, bring it on. But being in a house, no way. I don't like doing that. I was in uh, when Northridge hit California. I lived in an apartment very much like that Northridge apartment complex that collapsed on itself because it was a two-story apartment complex, and then underneath it was a garage held up on poles. So if you get the right kind of earthquake, that place could have done the same thing. It could have pancaked just like that one in Northridge. Yeah, I've been through, I guess, three big earthquakes in my life: Northridge, um, Whittier Narrows, and Sylmar. Sylmar was in the 70s. But yeah, Alaska gets big, big earthquakes. 7.0 is a moderate earthquake in Alaska. I think the biggest one of the biggest ones on the world happened in Alaska. I think it was like a 9.1. Yeah, exactly. Solid bedrock, nothing underneath me that can crack or fracture. No trees, no buildings, no nothing for however far it takes to keep me safe. I don't want anything falling on me. That just doesn't sound like fun. Yeah, Loma Prieta. I mean that was big news because that was the one that ended the World Series that one year and basically burned the lower half of San Francisco to the ground because so much of that area was reclaimed land. They pushed soil out in there and expanded, pushed the bay back and increased the land. Well, that all just turned to liquid during the earthquake and everything collapsed and there were fires and yeah, that was bad. That was a memorable one. That's probably one of the only other earthquakes I can think of that, you know, has has an indelible memory in my head because I remember watching the news on that. Yeah, the Marina District, right? You know why they called it the Marina District? It used to be the Marina. That's the whole problem. And I think they learned their lesson with that. Exactly, it was liquefaction. If you've ever wondered what liquefaction looks like, go look on YouTube. Search the word liquefaction. There's great videos of it. You just see water was bubbling out of the ground. Yeah, I know. Sometimes people can be really horrible. Yeah, sinkholes don't sound like a lot of fun either. You wouldn't want to get tangled up in one of those. There's cases that people fall into a sinkhole and they're just never heard from again. You may recall when Jordan and I were driving to Texas the first time. Um, well, I guess the only time we ever drove to Texas together. Uh, right at the day after we went and visited Wink, Texas, which is where Roy Orbison was born. Um, right outside of Wink, there's a couple of sinkholes, big, massive sinkholes that are on the verge of combining, and they're concerned that over time it may eventually swallow the town of Wink. You see that California is going to fall into the ocean. See, a lot of people don't know this, but everything on the west side of the San Andreas Fault actually is the ocean. So, basically half of how, starting through, basically if you draw a straight line where the Gulf of California, Gulf of Mexico, no, sorry, Gulf of California, Baja California meets up with Mexico, where the peninsula goes in there, you draw a line straight up there and through San Francisco. Everything to the left of that line is the Pacific Ocean. So if anything's going to fall into the ocean, it's going to be the rest of us. They are the ocean. Mauna Loa has been acting up for what, 30, 40 years. I've been to Mauna Loa. Hey, Elvis is in the house. How many people could say they have Elvis Presley regularly join their live streams? I thought he was dead. Chris, maybe he was just abducted by aliens. You keep getting further and further away, Bite. Now you're halfway down the hall. What's that all about? I'm just not dishing the treats, right? That's what it's all about. Okay. Oh, I got a friend that lives on the big island of Hawaii. That's where all these videos are coming from here. He's on the other side of the island, though. But I visited him a few times and we've been to the volcano. Been close enough that I've seen the lava. No, I'm probably not going to travel for Thanksgiving or Christmas this year. I'm only going to get a couple days off. I'll get Thanksgiving Day off, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day off. So no, I'm not going to take any vacation time. There's too many other people that need those days off. So somebody's got to stay at work, and it'd be fun to be able to go home, for every major and minor holiday, but I don't think there's going to be any Christmas or Thanksgiving visits this time. Probably just have Christmas and Thanksgiving here. I'll probably do a live stream on Christmas morning again. I've been known to do that. You forgot poop, Laura Lee. Did I get to the pool? What do you mean? I do have to cover the pool. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Close it. Oh no, no, I haven't closed the pool yet. Well, I mean, it's closed in as much as I'm not going in it, but no, I haven't covered it yet. I got to figure that out. I got some thoughts on that, but still hot here? No, not at all. It's getting into the 50s at night, and it's maybe low 70s during the day. It's really nice to be outside right now. That was the reason I went out and did some work on Flash's Cave a couple days ago. Well, last week now, from my perspective. Now Bite's back. You gonna come and visit? Yep, guess so. There he is. You gonna drool some more for us? Huh? I think this leg is almost dried. I suppose we get the kitty brush out. Oops, let's not knock the laptop off. That is not good live streaming etiquette. You wonder how Amigo's doing. Amigo's doing great. Jeff posted video on the Facebook page a couple days ago, and on his page a day before that. Apparently, Amigo really loves the sprinklers. If you get a chance, go check that out. I suppose he probably was stuck with having Facebook to do that. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, there it is. Let's see here. Yeah, see, there's Amigo playing with the sprinkler system. I had a dog that used to love like that too. That's one happy doggy. Get it, amigo. Get it. There you go. So that's how Amigo's doing. I guess it's still warm enough in Florida that you can play with the sprinklers and still have fun. Oh, what's this? Oh man, come on, guys. I hate it when you get some window left open on the phone and all of a sudden they start feeding you an ad. I don't even know what that was. I just shut everything down. Thought it was especially funny hearing Jeff laugh in the background. No, for some reason, Flash likes to sleep in the rain. Been a couple times now where I've just found her burying herself in the leaves when it's raining. So I don't know, whatever. She wants to sleep in the yard now. She can. I mean, it's not that cold at night. She's going to get to the point where she starts hibernating now pretty quick. It gets colder here quicker than it does in California. Usually she's down in California. Usually she's hibernating by Thanksgiving, but it may get cold enough now that she may go down and stay down. May start finding her now every night just to put her in her box just in case. Oh, bite took off, Laura Lee. Maybe later. Well, I make it a point to keep the gate closed because I don't want her to run off because she will. I don't know necessarily about anyone selling her or stealing her. Well, maybe stealing her. I mean, that's just I don't know if they try and steal her so much as, oh, that's a tortoise. I had to keep that as a pet. I mean, that's sort of how Flash came into my life. She got out of somebody else's yard, and we were never able to figure out who it was. I always, I always have this vision that someday I'm going to be walking around my neighborhood in California. It's like, yeah, I remember like 40 years ago, I had this tortoise, and it got out. We never found her. Because what do you do at this point? Well, I've had her for like 40 years. Who does she belong to now? What did I do to my arm? I don't know. What did I do to my arm? What did you do to your arm? I've tried my best I've considered that, Yvonne. I've tried my best to make the yard as flash proof as possible. I did that about a year before she came. Basically, I put paving bricks basically all the way around the perimeter. And I found that if she can't see under something, she won't try and dig under it. But if she sees like there's just even a little crack of light under there, she'll get in there. I don't think she understands there's a shell on her back. And so she says, well, I can get my head in here through here. Why can't I get the rest of me through? And she'll just kind of dig until she does get through. So yeah, that's been my experience. She'll only try and get out if she can see light. And the truth is, the longer she doesn't get out of the yard, the more likely it is that she won't find a way out of the yard because there isn't a way out. Yeah, I don't want her to escape. She got out twice in my house in California, so I don't want that to happen. I'm extra paranoid now because I know there's so many more places she can hide. There's only so many places she could go in my gated community in Placentia, and not a whole lot of places to hide. So it was just a matter of time before someone found her. And in fact, somebody found her before I even realized she was gone. Oh, don't feel concerned that you're asking about Flash. It's a good thing to talk about, and it's something I've thought about too. I don't want her getting out. It's way more possible that I just never see her again because there are still kind of wild areas around here, undeveloped areas. Wow. Yeah, and he's back. Yeah, yeah, you wouldn't think that a gopher tortoise can eat as much as she does, but she can really pack it in. Well, that's right. We did kind of promise a belly rub, didn't we? All right, let's see if we can work this out here. It's capture time here. Okay, gotcha. I assume you're talking about a Tesla, not a Tesla. I don't know what a Tesla is. If I won't be buying a Tesla until they solve some serious problems with them. One of those things you got to deal with is, if they catch on fire, how do you put them out? They're talking. They hear about Teslas that catch on fire, and basically the only way the fire department can put them out is to dig a trench, fill the trench with water, and then push the car into it. They'll pour tens of thousands of gallons of water on a Tesla, and they can't put the thing out because the second you put it out, it reignites again. There's also issues with the components that have to go in the batteries. The countries you get that stuff from, those aren't the friendliest countries in the world. And, China is already starting to control them. What's going to happen? And what happens when you have to replace the battery? This isn't like replacing a battery in your car where you go to the car place and say, hey, I need a new battery. You pay 50 or $100 and you're done. No, these batteries, are thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. I don't think people are factoring that in. And then there's a charging issue. Unless you have a specific type of charger, it can take days to charge on just something you plug into the wall. Yeah, I don't know. There's too many problems with it. It was an interesting idea, but it's not ready for prime time. Ever seen the commercial where a car runs on a whole bunch of AA batteries? No, but I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to have to replace all those either. I mean, can you imagine how many batteries, AA batteries, it would take to power a car? You want a modern version of the steam engine? There you go. Yeah, he's still with us. I want to show you something I got at Silo of Screams last night. John Guthrie sent me a picture of this a few days ago and set it up here to show you, and then it fell over. Hang on a second. It's just right here. But it's just out of my reach here. Okay, next to it. Apparently, John took photos of different characters in the Silo of Screams, and he made little personal ads for each one of them, and that was one he made of me. So apparently, he was hanging these signs up in places or something like that, and he had a whole bunch of them made, and he gave me one of them. So I thought that was cool. Look at that ugly mug, huh? Wouldn't want to run into that in a dark alley, would you? So I thought that was kind of cool. Okay, let's go here. I'm gonna put that over here just in case we want to come back to that. Laptop closer here so I can see. Oh, what happened to my pant leg? I've got one leg rolled up. I got a little bit of an infection or something on my leg, and I got some cream on it, so I just got it rolled up, so I'm not getting my pant leg all greasy. How was Silo? I had a blast last night. I told John at the end of the night that being in the incinerator, I've had more fun in the incinerator this season than any other time I've been in the haunt. You know, I've most of the time I've been either inside of a cage or in a place that's sort of a low scare area. Most of the time, see, I was, 2 of the years I've been there, I've been the dentist. And basically, it's sort of a low scare thing because what ends up happening is they walk into the room that I'm in, and there's a dentist chair, and I'm in front of the dentist chair, and I've got this realistic looking severed head on sitting on the chair, and I'm like drilling at it with a dentist drill. And my back is to people, and I basically just kind of turn and kind of creepily look at them. And sometimes I chase them around with a head, and I got a few screams out of that. But this time I got to do a bunch of jump scares, and those are fun. I finally kind of developed, got my routine settled in last night, and I probably had a 95% scream rate. I jump out at somebody, and 95% of the time they'd scream. So that's a lot of fun when you're scaring people so much that they're falling on the ground and curling up in a fetal position. Nothing beats that. And I got my stick survived, but I bent it. I hit it so hard I bent it. So I'm gonna have to bend that back into shape. It held up pretty well though through the whole season. It's got some dings on it. It's got some personality now, but you can tell that's been beat on a bunch of times. It's funny you mentioned you scared yourself walking into a dark sewing room, and the dress dummy looked like a headless figure. A month or two ago, I repaired the dummy thing that I'm going to hang from the tree, and when I got done with that, I didn't want to fold him up and put him over the storm shelter. So he's actually in the storm shelter, sitting in a chair. And I remember the first morning after I went to work, when I went to work that morning, I looked in there and I saw him and freaked me out for a second because he was there. I thought he was real. I had the guy in a week or two later to do work when the air conditioning stopped working, and he freaked out a little bit when he saw it too. Yeah, I don't trust the cars that drive themselves yet. I ain't there yet. I like technology a lot, but I'm not to the point where I trust that technology yet. I've got limited automation on my car, and even it, screws up. Doesn't mean I don't use it, but I'm ever aware of the fact that it could fail at any minute. Hey, Madisonian. That dummy looks a lot better though. I think it's going to look a lot better hanging from the tree this Halloween. What I'll probably do is put them really high up in the tree and just put like a strobe light that just strobes on it just very infrequently. So it's almost a subtle thing. You have to look up and it's like, whoa. Probably just gonna have a hamburger tonight because I'm driving down to Silo of Screams to do their low scare night tonight. That's from 6 to 8. And so yeah, basically what they're doing is it's a what they're calling it is family friendly night. It's a reduced price to get in, and and basically only the three of the mazes are open, and there's no scare actors inside. So it's really designed for the families to come in, and it's from 6 to 8. Um, and basically the actors, including myself, will be outside to pose for pictures if we want, and we're allowed to break character now too. So you know, if somebody's freaked out, it's like we can take our mask off. Say, yeah, it's just a mask. So I'm not even going to bring this thing tonight. I don't need this. This thing is for scares, but I will have the machete. But I was thinking if anybody wanted to come down and do an informal meet and greet, you know what? You come up to me. You know what I look like. I look like that. You come up and you see me and you say my name or say escaping the mouse. I'll break character for you. It's probably the most profound words that have ever been spoken on this live stream. If you ride on a donkey, you might not get anywhere fast. Words to live by. You know, what would I do if I ripped off the mask and then they screamed? I don't know. I don't know. That's I don't know. I don't know what's in the employee handbook about that. It would probably be funny. Little lull in the conversation right at the 15-minute mark. That comes in handy. There'll be an ad right there. Have I ever had a police called for a welfare ticket on my house on Halloween? Actually, yes. I had a number of years ago. I had well, I still have them, and I'm going to use them again. But I have these wrought iron tiki torches. They were just designed to be decorations that I could use in my yard when I was entertaining or something like that. But they're black and they're wrought iron and they look really gothic. And so I've added them to my Halloween display. And I always used to line the front yard with them and have like, open flame, little tiki torches. I had the next door neighbor call the police on me once for that. And then she called the fire department. And so right in the middle of the Halloween, I see a police officer roll up to my house and he gets out of his car and he's just shaking his head. And I was on Halloween. My yard is pretty scary, so I tend to stay in the backyard. I don't wait in the house for kids to come to the door because you know what? I want everyone to enjoy it, even if they're too afraid to come come up to the door. So I'll hide in the front yard, or in that case, in the backyard. So I saw the cop roll up, and I saw him get out of the car, and I saw him shake his head, And I went out to meet him, and he says, "Yeah, your neighbor says that the tiki torch is uh, is dangerous. It's too close to her house." And it's like it's 2 feet from her house. It's like, and so I said, no, so I'm trying to be the peacemaker and the reasonable one. So I said, okay, so if I blow that one tiki torch out, we're okay. He says, I don't know, I'll find out. He went and talked to her, and then all of a sudden she changed her story and she thought, no, it's dangerous having them all there. Somebody might fall into them. These tiki torches are 6 feet tall. They're plunged into the ground. They're wrought iron. No kid's going to run into them. But you know what? I just put them out that night, and just in the name of being, of making the peace. And then while the police officer was in there talking to the woman, the fire department rolls up, and they're just kind of laughing at what's going on, and all that. And we all end up having a nice talk, and all that. And of course, I had a great story after, because everyone in the neighborhood saw that happen. Because my house was the biggest Halloween attraction in the whole community to begin with. So everybody was watching that to begin with. And then when the police and the fire department roll up with their lights on, yeah, everyone saw that. So they all came out and asked what happened. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think she thought she was burning me, but she just really burned herself, I think. I thought that was a funny story, though. Wasn't really a welfare ticket, just some crazy neighbor who thought I was going to burn her house down with a tiki torch. It was 2 feet from her house. Does look a little like a ghost, but I could also see it like being a light bulb or something. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Yeah, definitely a Karen. Sometimes I think things that make me laugh. So I guess we're on the same page there. Hello, Ruth. How are you? I'm doing great. Getting ready for Halloween. Gonna do another Silo of Screams tonight. Low scare night tonight. So come and visit me. Mom's good. Mom's good. I guess the weather is cooling off a little bit, and they're getting ready for Halloween, carving pumpkins and all that fun stuff. I don't know. Rhonda must be working today. I didn't see anything on Facebook. She sometimes posts on Facebook if she's gonna not be there, but I didn't see anything this time. Let's see if I can. Skipping the mouse. Anything, Rhonda? No, no, I don't see. That's Rhonda's last posting. Apparently, Logan has been on a tear, or had been. Yeah, I miss Rhonda. Rhonda kind of carries the conversation here, almost to the point where I could just walk away and let Rhonda host this. I don't know. Sometimes the girls watch. So if Charlotte and Logan are watching, hi Charlotte and Logan, miss you. Halloween is one of probably my three favorite holidays. Yeah, I bet you it might be chilly in South Carolina. Yeah, yeah. John's posted a number of my videos because the first couple of years I was there, he actually paid me to do videos. And last year I interviewed him, and there'll be some stuff this year too. It's interesting how it kind of evolved because it went from no filming at all on inside the scare to, yeah, go ahead and film whatever you want. I know you'll do something cool. So I basically have free reign to do that. And I did shoot some video about a week ago in there. I basically just put the camera down and tried to get scares. And I probably got an hour or so of video. I want to see if I can cut it into something worthwhile. I'm thinking I'm going to turn it into a clip video, like America's Funniest Home Videos, where I'll do a little intro and describe what was going on and then show you the clip. So I don't know. It depends on if I got anything good, but I think I did. Well, I've done solo screams every year since I've been here. The first year I went was when I was still in the apartment, and I had gone to actually just do it as a vlog, and got there and I saw this no cameras in there, and it turns out I got there really early because I wanted to, I didn't want to be, you know, have it sold out or something. So I got there like an hour before they opened, and nobody else was there. There was nobody at the front gate, so I just kind of walked in and ran into John back there, and told him who I was and said, "Oh yeah, it's not open yet. You got to wait outside. Otherwise, we're going to put a costume on you and put you in the maze." And like a week later, I was in a costume in one of the mazes. So that's how that all started. And then the first year, he asked me if I'd produce an ad for him. And no, actually, the first year, I think I did. He let me through. I think it was the Funhouse video. I think that was the first one I did. And that's still one of my most popular videos. That one spikes every Halloween. So gotta get the mouse cable. Mouse cable's tickling my leg here. But yeah, I've shot a couple of commercials for him. Um, I've video recorded the Funhouse, which is a clown place. I went through her Wicked Way the year later. Last year, I was basically given a little bit more free reign and just kind of turned it into an overall scare video. And I also did, like I said, the two commercials, one for Silo Screams and one of them for the Christmas version they did. You wonder if the candy Smarties would make you smart? I don't know. If that's the case, then I'm worried about those dum dums. Yeah, split pea and ham freezes well. I got a lot of screams last night. I love being in the incinerator. I told John that. I was like, I had more fun this season than any other season. Yeah, it's hot and sweaty in there, but you have a great time too. I heard from Jordan recently. No, we communicate when we need to. I think the last time I talked to him was at the Flaming Lips concert, or shortly after that, because I told him I went and got the Particle Kid CD. That was that other band that we saw there. They were great. Oh, you just froze them? Okay, okay. I guess that's one way of doing it. Yeah, I'm going to visit Jordan some point. I don't know when yet, but I do want to do that. I figure, I get vacation time. I should use it. So we'll visit him at some point. There's something I've wanted to do for a long time with him that is about him that probably no one is better qualified to do. I want to do a documentary on Candyland Riots and talk about their history, interview him, maybe interview the other members of the band, play some of the music. I think that'd be a great video. And see, one of the things that there'd be an issue with going to visit Jordan is I wouldn't be able to vlog anything I did there because Jordan doesn't really want people knowing where he lives. But if I were to do like an interview type thing, uh, on Candyland Riots, that's just something we could do at his house. So I don't know. That's something I've been thinking of. There's probably no one better qualified to do it because there's no one that has more material on Candyland Riots than me. Basically, I just became the archive of everything. So everything about Candyland Riots, I have it. All the music, all the artwork, every version of the web page, stuff that nobody's ever heard. So I think that'd be a really great video. I'd probably make it a really long one too. It might be an hour long, but I bet you we could do a great because I got concert footage, hundreds of photos, different versions of songs. A lot of people don't know this, but what was supposed to be the final Candyland Riots album, Jordan actually recorded the demos at my house on my 4-track. I don't think even Jordan has a copy of that anymore. In fact, I know he doesn't because he used one of the songs on one of his videos a number of years ago, and he had to come to me to get the song. Jordan said that exact thing. I said, by the time I get there, you're going to have everything done and ready to go. And I said, oh, we'll break something. I bet you we could wander around that place and find some things that we could do. But I'm sure he's got most of the stuff. I got a copy of the inspection report of his house when he bought it, and he wanted to know, yeah, what could you do? What do you think about these projects? How big of an issue is this? And I say, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. You're going to need a professional to do that one. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Most of the stuff is just simple. So yeah, there's more to Candyland Riots than the 7-inch and the Orange Sash. Those are just the only two that really got mass produced. There's a couple other albums that are out there that were never anything more than just CDRs. Yeah, and I think it'd be something that'd be a great video. I think it maybe get a lot of people to come over because I bet you Jordan would promote it and say, "Oh yeah, Breck did a video on Candyland Riots," because Jordan's never tackled that subject. I don't know how much I don't think he's ever talked about it that much. He's used a little bit of his music, and probably talked about it a little bit on his live streams, but he's never done a video on the subject. So yeah, I think that'd be a great video. And for some reason, all my videos that involve Jordan seem to do really well anyway. I wonder why that is. Couldn't be because people like Jordan or anything, could it? But I know all the members of all the original members of the band because John Juan. Well, it's John Madsen. He used to play Candyland Riots. Michael Michael Carlson is an old friend of Jordan's. He was in the band, and Neil's in Mexico. But I bet you we could talk to him, get him all on the phone. Yeah. I think if I'd seen that he'd done a video on Candyland Riots, I would have definitely watched that one. I mean, there's a hard drive up there in that collection up there that has most everything Jordan. So, his vlogs are on there. You know, other things he's done. His acting stuff is on there. Promo photos, and of course everything Candyland Riots. Ever visit South Pasadena to see the Halloween filming locations? No, but I've driven by the Nightmare on Elm Street house once. That was fun. Where's Bite now? I'm sure he's probably in his room. That'll probably bring him out. Usually does. I think I just heard somebody jump off a shelf. Yep, I see Bite now. There's the answer to your question. There's Bite right now. Work's going good. Work's going good. I've been kind of filling in for somebody who's been on vacation for the last week or week and a half. So it's nice to have a little change. I've told that to my boss. He really, really wants to keep me happy because I guess he's happy with the work I'm doing. And so I say, well, the way to do that is to keep me, interested. And one of the things I have an issue with is I get bored doing the same thing over and over again. So give me variety. Let me do different things. And he's doing that. So I'm very happy there. It's a nice change after Disney, where no matter what I did, I could not get recognized. I mean, they told me right at the beginning when I was going through orientation that there was very little opportunity for advancement for parade support people. It's like, that's an odd thing to say. Hey, bye. Meow. 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 Well, I mean, in hindsight, I'm glad I'm out of Disney. That place has gone downhill so fast. I mean, I still have contact with a few friends that are still working there, but most of the people I have that were friends at the time I was there aren't even there anymore. In fact, it's funny. It turns out one of the friends I knew from Parades, who he worked on Disneyland side, I worked primarily on California Adventure side, but we knew each other because there was enough crossover on the Parades that sometimes he'd come over to DCA side and I'd go over to Disneyland side and stuff like that. But turns out he moved away too, and he moved to Waco also. So there's two former Disney people who knew each other, who worked in the same department at the same time, and we both live in Waco now. The only time I ever heard Disney accept one of my ideas is when I made a suggestion to a manager that we should do something that made more sense, it was more efficient, and the manager said, no, we can't do that, and then turned around and pitched the idea herself and got it implemented. Yeah, that's the kind of people you're dealing with at Disney. I've said this before, but I think the problem was specifically California Adventure Parades, because all of the management at California Adventure Parades was people who were former performers. And so I always looked at the management team at DCA as an old folks home for performance. And those performers just, they don't know how to do anything. I mean, they're dancers. That's what they are. I always kind of dismissively called them dancers. And I've often said, I've heard people say, we got a real problem. Somebody call a mechanic, somebody call an engineer, somebody call the police. I've never heard anyone say, we have a serious problem. Somebody call me a dancer. And, that's what we were dealing with. And they never made any changes because none of them ever had any real ideas. They don't know what they're doing. They're idiots. And that was how they decided who to promote. They didn't want to promote anyone that was going to make them look bad. So they always promoted somebody who was even dumber than them. Well, then that person gets into management and they'd promote someone who's even dumber than them. That's not a good winning strategy. That's not going to last for long. And it was already starting to show up. I mean, I look at the managers there and I said, there's not one of them that implemented any policy that changed anything. They're just doing what they've always done. So, yeah, I don't know. There's one benefit to it out of it. Success always kind of came easy to me. If it was something I was into, I'd do it and I'd do it well. But I've never really appreciated or worked hard for that success because it always came so easily. And if I get credit Disney for anything, is it really helped me develop my work ethic. Because I was really kind of lazy until I had to really work to try and get recognized. And even then, it never did. But I got in the habit of being a hard worker. And I think that's played a part in me being successful in the workplace I am now. Yeah, I don't, yeah, I mean, it's possible that's changed. I admired the way Disney took care of their guests. It's just the problem I had was the way they took care of their customers. The company would go all out. Now I don't know what's happened lately. If they're treating vloggers differently, I don't know. But when I was there, the thing that probably kept me there as long as it did was the fact that it was fun interacting with the guests. And they encouraged that, and they encouraged us to, treat the guests with respect and be accommodating to them and do things to make their day special. We were given the power to do that. And I mean, I remember a number of times, you'd have a kid come in that was like in a wheelchair, and they had like a Make-A-Wish button that they were giving them, and that was basically a warning to every cast member: pay special attention to this kid. And I know, when we do shows, you know, I worked on a show based on the Disney cartoon called Phineas and Ferb. And, it was a stage show. We'd drive a car out there, we'd do a little 10, 15-minute show, and then drive the car back again. And there was always just an audience out there gathered around watching. Well, whenever we'd see, a Make-A-Wish button or something like that, we'd contact the manager, and somebody would go to that kid and say, hey, would you like to meet Phineas and Ferb? Follow us back to the gate, and Phineas and Ferb will come out and meet you. And we did that a lot. And that was fun. So, I mean, it was never about the way they run their business. I don't know what they're doing now. I've been gone for years, but At the time, that was the priority. I would hope it still is on some level. Yeah, exactly. Place of imagination with people lacking in imagination. I don't even think that's the case. There's a lot of creative people there. It just it was not a good management team in DCA parades. And like I said, I've only the only thing I've heard about they're going PC and woke now is just through the media. I don't have any inside info on that. You're so glad you were a kid then, not now. Yeah, well, in addition to probably the reasons you're talking about, I've seen this as a meme on the internet. Uh, all the stupid stuff we did is lost to history. Nobody video recorded it. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Not having to ask yourself questions like, "Am I the right gender? Should I be ashamed because of the color of my skin?" Yeah, I don't doubt that. I know that that's a big deal. People trying to spread ashes at the haunted mansion. They even have a code for it. It's called Code V. Or no, sorry, not Code V. Sorry, Code V is something else. Code V is V for vomit. Somebody barfs, and they have to call somebody to clean it up. We got a Code V at wherever. No, this is a code HEPA because they got to get a vacuum with a HEPA filter out there to vacuum that all up. Am I still having fun at Silo of Screams? Absolutely. I had more fun this year than any other year. I got so many good scares this year. I was in a great maze. The incinerator is a fun maze to be in. I finally kind of latched onto a routine that got me good scares. And that's what the whole thing is about. Yeah, me too, Yvonne. There's a lot of people that do bring ashes to Disneyland. In fact, I was just reading a story a couple days ago about some woman who I guess was trying to bring some ashes of her husband to Disneyland, and she left the ashes in her suitcase, and the suitcase got lost. And Disney apparently stepped up and tried to help her. Got her some new clothes and stuff like that, gave her a place to stay. But it seems like odd because her initial intention was to do something that's against Disney policy. Now I don't know if she was going to spread them at one of the amusement areas or someplace else, but still that should be I know Disney doesn't have any kind of a sense of humor about that kind of thing. Oh, I used to go to Rocky Horror all the time. I've probably seen the movie in the theater 100 times. And I'd bring out my props, my rice, my newspaper, my noisemakers, squirt guns. Never saw the Rocky Horror Show, but Well, I mean, these people think that they're leaving a loved one at a place that they love to be at. And so I understand the attraction for it, but I also understand Disney's concern. Who wants to go through a place that contains the ashes of dead people? That's not going to be good for bringing in the crowds. Yeah, there's real dead people here. Well, see, that's maybe something that Disney could do if they really wanted to. You want to send a small sample of your ashes, maybe we'll build it into the wall or something like that and leave a little marker there. But I don't know, that's their call. I guess I got to understand how that still might be a little creepy to some people. Yeah, I enjoyed yelling at the screen too. One of the places I went was down in Newport Beach on the Balboa Island. There's a movie theater called the Balboa. It was basically a little art house picture, and on Friday and Saturday nights they'd play Rocky Horror at midnight, and we just trashed that place every week. I'm really surprised they continued to allow us go, but this was a great little theater. It was a little two room theater, and actually no, I think there was just one room, and it actually had a stage in front, and so there'd actually be actors acting out stuff and interacting with the screen. And I remember right one of the last times I went was right before they tore the place down, and it was like I think one of the last shows there, and there was a balcony. And I guess during the rain scenes, when everybody's squirting, squirt guns at each other to simulate the rain, they got up in the balcony. The staff got up in the balcony with a fire hose and drenched everyone. So that was awesome. We had a blast doing that. The movie doesn't hold up though. Watching on its own, it's a pretty bad movie. No, I haven't done anything more on for Halloween than what you've seen. The only thing that I've done that you didn't see was that big pumpkin thing that I built that was in the live stream last week. He's actually out on the porch, and I got a strobe light on him. Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, those were my favorites when I was a kid too. Let's see, Splash Mountain wasn't there at the time. I Space Mountain, I think, only came in like the late 70s or something like that. I like that one too. Matterhorn was, I think, the first roller coaster I ever went on. But yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean was a great ride. That was a great thrill ride. When you're 10 years old or 8 years old or something like that, and you're going down the hill in the dark, that's fun. But yeah, I think the rest of the Halloween decorations will go up tomorrow. I got a couple hours. I'm going to try and cut a video of my filming inside a Silo of Screams into something that might resemble a video, and we'll see what happens. I got maybe like an hour of footage, but basically what I do is I put the camera out, aim it where I thought the action was going to happen, and then try and scare people. I didn't really dial in my scaring though until last night. I had people so scared they were curling up in the corner of the maze in a fetal position. Yes. You know you got them good. You scare them so much they're crying. Yeah, it was also always nice and cool, both inside the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean. I agree. That's because most of Pirates of the Caribbean and most of Haunted Mansion are actually underground. That's what those hills are at the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean, is getting you down underground because that's where all the ride is. And then, of course, they bring you up at the end. And it's the same with Haunted Mansion. You're lowering a little bit more slowly, but they got to get you underground because that's where all the attraction is. And then you got that little walkway at the end that you walk up that brings you back up to ground level. That was sort of what was cool about that park, is a lot of the park was underground. There was a complete, almost a total city, in some places. And it's even more at Disney World. Disney World, a lot of people don't know this, but underneath your feet, that's where all the stuff is. All the office space, all that stuff. They don't want to waste ground level stuff for that. Disneyland did a lot of that. There's a lot of area that's inaccessible because it's office space or stuff like that. Hey, there we go. Now we got Rhonda here. Now the conversation will pick up. We've been waiting for you to carry the conversation. Surprised we haven't seen Jeff today. We've seen more of Amigo. Yeah, well, that's what kind of figures happening, Rhonda. We know you're working now, and so we miss you when you're here, but we're glad when you are. There's Jeff. We were just talking about him. I showed everyone your video of Amigo fighting the sprinklers a little while ago. That was funny. The customers are being rude today. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, Amigo's a cute doggy. He's going to be a great pet. Yes, he is. It just seemed odd because Jeff usually makes a brief appearance, usually, uh, about half hour into the thing, because that's about the time he gets the church buttoned up, and we catch him between closing up and the church and going to have lunch. So yeah, people are weird. Yeah, that's probably why because I started this one about a half hour late, so maybe we missed the church is closed. We're on our way to lunch. Stop by, and instead we got you after lunch. Lunch at church today. Okay, well that's simple. That explains why we didn't get to see you between church and lunch because there wasn't a between church and lunch. That actually explains a lot. I can drink my vodka now because Rhonda's here to carry the conversation. I'm sure if the sprinklers were on, Amigo would still be playing with them. You're making instant pot stew. Yeah, that sounds good. The more I do with that thing, the more I'm amazed what it can do. That is a little much for lettuce. My money doesn't go as far either. I like tacos. Tacos are good. I'm sure there will be too. Amigo's gonna have his own channel, just like Jaw. You could call it bigger than Jaw. Yeah, I've done that too for tacos. That works. It's already chopped up too. 2 birds with one stone. Gotta finish up my vodka here. We're coming to the end of this thing here. Yeah, that can be an issue if the lettuce wilts. But that's sort of why I like doing packaged salads too, because I'll go through a package of salad in 2 days or something, and then it's fine. BLTs sound good too. Do you have any more vacation, sir? Yes, actually, I got a lot, but the company's changing policy. If I don't use it by the end of the year, they're just going to give me a payout. So I'm probably going to take the payout. I'll get a really nice big paycheck around Christmas. because I think I got like 160 hours accrued or something. It's crazy because, with the exception of the Flaming Lips concert and the trip I took to California in April and May, I haven't taken any vacation. I've been there almost 3 years now. Hi, Charlotte and Logan. Glad you're here. Come see Amigo. Yeah, maybe. I'd rather have the vacation accrue because at some point I'd like to take it, but I just get concerned because we're, like a lot of companies, we're really understaffed, and I'm kind of an important, you know, asset there because I can do, all sorts of different things. And so if somebody else isn't there, I can fill in for a lot of people and do a lot of things. And so I make kind of a big hole when I leave. But the other end of the story is, they survived without me for 2 weeks when I went to California. So mommy's making you eat tacos. Yeah, well, mommy likes tacos. Sometimes you got to do what makes mommy happy. Mommy does all sorts of things to make you happy, right? Where would I go on vacation? I'd like to go visit Jordan. I really want to start doing national parks. That's if I do travel vlogs, that's what my vlogs are going to be, is me visiting a national park. And I know I want to start with Yellowstone. And the fact that I drove to California and that worked so well, it might just be that kind of a thing where I just drive there, 2 or 3 days on the road, 10 hours a day, get there and then have my own car, get a hotel in the area. Yeah, going to Disney World, that's probably the last place I'd go. JFK video is the best. Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely the most popular. Two of those three videos are, the second two videos are the number one and number two videos in terms of views. I think the one where that I traced Oswald's steps, that's above 50,000. That's astounding for me. That's a slow day for Jordan, but yeah, if I go to the national parks, I think I want to go maybe when it's a little cooler, so it might be kind of a spring kind of thing, late spring, April or May. We can go to Universal instead. I've been to Universal Studios in Hollywood. I don't know how different Universal Studios in Florida is. I never went there. I went to Disney World many, many, many years ago when I was in Orlando. But yeah, I was surprised that. Well, I guess I'm not really surprised that video did so well. And then JFK stuff's a big topic. People still talk about that. Yeah, I still get comments on that. You look at like any month to month, those videos are still getting thousands of views. Ironically, well, maybe not so ironically, my Logan's Run video is starting to trend. and I'm getting more people watching that too. So maybe that's just one of these things that, sometimes a video just starts getting pushed. You're going to go to Cuba, huh? All right. Yeah, yeah, it was. Communism has that seems to have that effect on places. Venezuela used to be really nice too. I don't know. It's just somebody in line. You get some idiot all the time. It's like I was hoping it wouldn't even be visible, but I know I turned the camera on it. So yeah, it's one of the things you run into when you do a live. That's one of the things I run into with cooking videos too. I'm one person, so I gotta kind of spread them out a little bit. Otherwise, I get a freezer full of stuff that I haven't eaten. Oh, you're talking this picture here, right? Yeah, it must be this picture because yeah, there's a little middle finger action going on there. Yeah, it was the richest nation in South America. Yeah, that's a picture of a guy named Danny McBride. Danny McBride was in a short-lived TV show called Eastbound and Down, and then shortly after that, he was in a movie called Your Highness. And in those days, Jordan was hanging out with a guy who was the opening act for Jimmy Kimmel, and so Jordan got invited numerous times to be backstage when at Jimmy Kimmel shows. And this was a time where Danny McBride was on the show. And Danny McBride on the TV show Eastbound and Down is kind of a rude, crude ex baseball player who's trying to get along in life after his baseball career. And he's, offensive and rude and all that. And so, yeah, who that is. That's Danny McBride. And spoiler alert, that's not Danny flashing the bird, it's me. What kind of candy am I handing out at Halloween? As I usually do, is I buy candy that I like because I know I may not get rid of all of it. So I want to make sure it's going to be something I'm going to want to eat. And so I got one packet of. I love nerds. Love those little hard nerds. They're flavorful. They're yummy. And so I got a packet of that. I got a packet of chocolates, and then just kind of a miscellaneous thing. So I got a lot of candy. I got 3 big bags of candy that I'm going to give out because I don't just drop one bag one piece of candy in a bag. I grab a handful of stuff. I'm bribing these kids not to vandalize my house. You know, getting kids at your house? Yeah. I'm hoping I get some. I'm putting a big gamble in it because I'm going to spend a whole bunch of time setting up for it. But like I said, last year, I actually got to see what was going on Halloween, and I'm hoping that it will be a good visit. You know, like I said, I've got some stuff outside already, so hopefully people know that I'm going to be doing Halloween this year. Last year and the year before, I didn't do Halloween here because I was at Silo Screams those nights. But this year I am going to be here. So if it works out well, we'll do it again next year. You like this thing? Yeah, that was just something I bought at I think Home Depot one year. It used to be part of my Christmas decoration in California. I had it outside and I projected on the side of the house. Then everybody started doing that, and it's like, okay, that's boring. I don't want to be like everyone else. I was the first one to do it, and then everybody was doing it. Yeah, I used to be in a gated community in California too, but I had people come from miles around because they knew, that I did something every year, and every year it was, I had scary music and fog machines and strobe lights and black lights and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I did good Halloween every year, and I got when the year I moved and I did my last Halloween, I had people saying, "Yeah, my kids grew up with your Halloween displays. We're gonna miss that." So hopefully, I can create a similar um, feeling here. This might be really my first time to get out and interact with the community. Yeah, I don't know if that's it. Like I said, I had people that came to my house from like miles around, and they'd come to the house, they'd come to my house, and then they'd leave. It isn't like, okay, we're just going to hit the whole neighborhood. No, we go to this house, and then we're going somewhere else. Okay, thanks for stopping in, Jeff. Yeah, we're just about done here too. I'm gonna wrap up in the next minute. So yeah, anyone else has any more questions? This is their last chance until next week. Say hey to amigo for us. Yeah, we're glad you made it too, Rhonda. All right, yeah, it sounds like we're kind of wrapping this one up. So I'm going to show this one more time here. This is something that John at Silo of Screams made. That is actually me. He sent me a photograph of him making this a few days ago, and he gave me this thing when I was there last night. So we are doing Silo of Screams again tonight. If you are in the Central Texas area, it's family friendly night tonight. So there aren't going to be any monsters in the mazes. You can go through the mazes without the monsters, and the monsters will be wandering around the grounds and posing for photos. So if you want to stop by and say hi, it'd be great. The beauty is, in this case, this is all about the visitors and not about the scares so much. So I can break characters. So if you come up and say hi, I'll take my mask off and say hi to you. So come by 6 to 8 tonight. Silo Screams in Temple. You can search it online for the address. And I hope to see somebody. It'd be really fun to have somebody come up and say hi. So anyway, I'm going to end this video now. Thanks everyone for watching. I had a good time today. Good night, everyone.